There's that age-old epitaph that says, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So how you end something is how you create the foundation for the new beginning. Because every ending is a new beginning, every death a rebirth, if and only if you take full responsibility for creating more of the life that you crave. So in this video, I really want to speak to the potential, the latent potential that is hidden inside endings, as painful and challenging as they may be, so that you can embrace the new, that you can cultivate a new beginning with clarity, confidence, and connection, so that you can expand more into a life of alignment, fulfillment, and integrity. So my name's Kev. I'm an award-winning furniture designer and a creative strategist, and I really just help ambitious creatives design and build a life and business that they love. So in this video, we're just gonna dive into the idea of trusting the new beginnings, because right now in my life, I really feel like I'm emerging from a long chapter of a death and an ending into a new beginning. And it seems like most of the people that are around me are going through something very similar in their context. So I want to speak to the power of an ending. And specifically, I want to speak to ending something with your heart open, embracing the close of a chapter of your life, a way of being, a way of showing up, a career, and keeping your heart open so that you can have more fertile soil to build from, right? So let's face it, to kind of just cut through the bullshit, any ending is a death, and it is painful. It doesn't matter if it's the death of the person that you used to think yourself to be, the death of a loved one, the ending of a relationship, the loss of a home, of a dream. Deaths come in many forms, and it's not just physical death, right? And there's lots to feel inside of that. The way that we embrace those endings is a testament to the way that we embrace all of life. I see far too often people falling victim into literally becoming a victim, right? Like death endings are happening around them and we get stuck in this victimhood and we blame, we resent, we point the finger at everything else around us. And while that might be a part of the process of building something anew, to really take the ending as an opportunity to really take stock of your life and responsibility for your life is where the power and the juice lives. To fully embrace a new beginning, we have to fully let go of what was. It doesn't mean rejecting what was, it doesn't mean throwing it all away or burning it down. The way I relate to it is it actually means really loving and accepting and honoring it. It means revering everything that transpired, all of the shit and the sunshine, so that I can fully come into acceptance here and now without rejecting what was and striving too far for the hope of what could be. Just being right here and right now so I can be real with everything that's present. Because the more resource you can become as you embrace and ending a chapter of your life, the more you're connected and attuned to what is trying to move through you. Because every ending is trying to move through you a new idea, a new philosophy, a new way of showing up in the world, new people, new projects, new everything, right? A high tide raises all ships, except the death feels more like a low tide. So it seems like all the ships are dry docked on the sand. But when we allow that ending to be met with love and with an openness, doesn't mean there's not pain there, right? We create such a magnetic foundation to build the next chapter of our life upon. But it really does take the quality of trust and surrender, right? New beginnings are scary, like let's face it. Anytime we close something and begin anew, we're excited and also scared, right? I think that's actually a really great litmus test to live one's life, to live my life, is what simultaneously scares the shit out of me and excites me at the same time. How can I embrace a little bit more of that every day? But new beginnings are frightening. You know, the world looks different. We're no longer the same person. And it seems like we're just really discovering what it means to be in the world, you know, to give our gifts, to show up. And what I can speak to inside of that is just to let uncertainty be your greatest ally. I like to think of the idea of, if only you knew what uncertainty had in store for you. You know, I'd be jumping up and down and clicking my heels together if I knew what was trying to embrace me, right? When we end something, we're actually creating so much more space for more alignment, fulfillment, and integrity. If this is in your creativity, you're creating so much more space to pivot, to open in new opportunities, to embrace new projects, business ventures, etc. So when we can create more space through an honorable ending, we're able to just hold our heart that much higher, which makes us that much more open to receive. Because uncertainty is always trying to move, I would say, abundance through you, but oftentimes, you know, the lessons that have to be learned first to stretch our capacity to receive are the tough ones. They are the tough ones. But life is always trying to move something through you that is greater than you could imagine. The way that it feels true for me is when I can let go of what was and not cling to the hope for what could be, but just to be fully here and now. That's when I really start to actually see and magnetize the gifts that life is trying to provide me. It's this beautiful quality of realizing that what is for you cannot miss you in life. Whether that's the new job that you're striving for, that new income ceiling, a new relationship, a new home, whatever it might be, what is for you is orbiting your world right now. And each time it gets closer, it's gonna manifest in some way. And it's gonna get closer and closer and closer until you're open and available enough to fully receive it. Because life is going to test our capacity. Life is really going to stretch our edges to ensure that we can hold what it's trying to give. Maybe you've been in a similar place as I have, where life tries to drop something big into my lap, and I have not built the capacity to actually be able to hold that, to follow through with it, right? Life drops a huge project on my lap that's 5 times the sort of financial responsibility that I'm used to. I might not be ready for that, right? I've been in that position plenty of times where that was just too much, too fast, too soon. But it shows that life sees you and your hard work and is orbiting and getting closer until you are finally ready. The way that we cultivate that readiness to expand into that next chapter is just to let the endings help us purify and refine ourselves, who we are, who we believe ourselves to be, how we want to show up, how we want to be giving our gifts to the world. I'm a firm believer that you are either giving your gifts to the world or you're not. And you might not know what your gifts are, but it's so much more simple than you think to start. It's your presence, it's your depth, it's your smile, it's your charisma. Start there. And don't withhold your gifts, because if we're withholding our nature, what's trying to move through us, life isn't gonna, bless us with abundance. Life isn't gonna, it's gonna give us the energetic match, right? It's gonna withhold. And it doesn't mean to just live flamboyantly with no care and just blah. No, that's not what I'm speaking to. But what I'm speaking to is the idea of being able to offer yourself as this living, breathing vessel of possibility. Because if you fully knew that what you crave is craving you, what you desire to create in this life is urgently trying to embrace you, how would you open yourself and live as the embodiment of that knowing? chances are it's probably really different than you're living now. If you're living in hope, or if you're living in waiting, or if you're, living in anything that is other than the strongest conviction for what you know to be possible, you're gonna feel a little malnourished. You're gonna feel disempowered, like you're waiting for something. And I'm really interested in helping you discover that you don't need to wait. Like, you can offer your gifts to the world. You can open yourself now. And that's where you become magnetic. That's where the projects, the people, the opportunities are rushing towards you. A mantra of mine that came just kind of out of thin air the other day was, love is rushing towards me. And by love, I mean capital L love. I don't mean puppy dog love. I don't mean relationship love. I just mean big love. Like that life loves me and it's rushing towards me and trying to move through me. And it's completely shifted the way that I experience each day, and that I hold my heart a little bit higher. I'm a little bit more bold, So this video is sort of a call and an encouragement for you to let what is ending end. Let what is dying in you die. And in the space that's created, you're given the chance to do that deep, honest work of reflection, and to design and build a new way of being, to design and build a new you, a new way of showing up, a new business, however that wants to transpire. Because now is the time where the death of the old is becoming all too apparent, and it's time to embrace the new. And it's scary, it's awkward, but I know that you can meet the challenge that life is presenting you, because you would not be going through it if you couldn't develop the capacity to make your way through it. So if you found this video helpful, you're definitely gonna love my newsletter, where I share all of the juice, the practices, the experiments, the stories, and that's also where you get the most intimate offerings as far as workshops, courses, and programs, where you can really sort of try on and flavor some of this transformation in some more intimate containers yourself. So be sure to sign up for that. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I appreciate you all for being here. Ciao.